Hello, I'm Quinn. I'm going to be explaining my two favorite characters. They both come from the film, The Platform. This was a movie I really liked because it kind of showed. I see their development as a character. Their like physiological struggles and choices, kind of like they really make me think about, and they kind of make you think about the real world and about justice, morality, and how to change systems that are broken. Goreng is like the main Goreng, I think he's the main protagonist in the film, and he starts off as like an idealist and someone that like believes reason can prevail even in a horrible environment, and even being next to kind of like a psychopath old man. Um, he kind of just he I often see him like try to make sense of injustice by appealing to logic or shared humanity. Um, and he thinks he can go on the platform like to come out a better person and reflect. But he descends, both mentally and physically, with the lack of eating and being locked up like that and watching what's going on around him. And he kind of like reflects once he knows this. He's like, all right, I gotta like commit to action. I gotta get better, and that resonates with me deeply because when I struggle and when I don't really take action on, and I kind of just sit around, I'm like, all right, I gotta get back on stuff. But I think it resonates with the real world and people who don't vote and people who complain and people who sit around, do something about it. And moral ideals, especially with Garang, are useless without action. His transformation, he just you see him change throughout the film, and then his the other character, Baharat, on the other hand, represents hope, uh, with faith and action, and he believes he can climb up the system, and he wants help from those above, and I really like his optimism. I kind of like to relate to that, like not being afraid to like confront the problem at hand. But he realizes, like again, like a lot of the people above won't listen or care, and that it shows like it shows that you can't just change it straight from the top, but you need the ones from the bottom to kind of like come up and change the system. So I think the biggest thing with him is I like the way he tries to go about things through faith, but also there's a mixture between the two where it's like you need to kind of like strive. And both of these characters, I feel like, represent something which I really like. Is there's two different types of way to like change a government and change a system that's broken. One's through like peace, and one's through a little more like resisting and kind of like fighting. But like they collaborate together, and their journey really, I just feel like, represents something that this country needs in general, where it's like you have two different approaches to everything, but if you guys came together, the main enemy of it, like the people below, or what you consider the middle class, or the poor, are the ones that are really at the top running things, and that's how I see it. I kind of like, I really just liked the characters. I thought the movie was really good. I liked just watching their character develop to, trying to like come in one way and then coming out the other. And then when they work together, I just think it was a really good film, and that we watch undoubtedly, and I think that's my favorite thing. So thank you.